Most of us tend to think that charisma or presence is some kind of, I don't know, magic that people are just born with. But what if I told you it's not magic at all? It's a biological signaling system, something that's been hardwired into our brains for thousands of years. And the best part? It's a system you can absolutely learn. So today, we're going to decode that blueprint and show you how to build the emotional resiliency to command respect in any room you walk into. You know that feeling, right? Before a single word is even spoken, you get this gut instinct about who has real presence. And it's almost never the loudest person in the room. It's all about understanding the primal triggers that everybody is subconsciously reacting to. We're going to break down exactly what those triggers are and, more importantly, how you can start to master them. So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the two paths to social rank, prestige versus dominance. Super important. Then, we'll dive into how to master your own brain, use silence as a strategy, and send all the right nonverbal signals. We'll wrap up with the foundation of it all, which is solitude. And then I'm going to leave you with a simple challenge to put all of this into practice. Okay, let's get right into it with the first and honestly the most crucial concept. See, in any social group, humans have developed two very different ways to establish their place in the hierarchy. Understanding this difference, well, it's the first key to unlocking real, lasting influence. Now, what's so fascinating here is that dominance is kinda our old school software. It's what scientists call our phylogenetic legacy. It's the strategy we share with other primates, based on intimidation and force. But prestige is uniquely human. It evolved because we are social creatures who look for skilled people to learn from. It is by far the more advanced and effective strategy for earning long-term respect. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? Prestige is status that's given to you, freely, by other people because they genuinely value your skills and your competence. People want to be around you. Dominance, on the other hand, is status that's taken by force, by intimidation. Yeah, you might get people to comply, but you will never, ever get their genuine loyalty. Prestige turns you into a role model. Dominance just makes you an aggressor. The choice seems pretty clear. So, if we're choosing prestige, how do we actually build it? Well, before you can project any kind of presence outward, you have to win the game that's happening inside your own head. And that all starts with getting to know your brain's basic wiring. So I want you to think of your prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. This is the calm, rational executive sitting in the corner office. It's in charge of the big picture, planning, making strategic moves, and most importantly, keeping your knee-jerk impulses in check. This is the part of your brain you want driving the car, especially when the pressure is on. And then you've got the amygdala. This is your internal threat detector, your head of security. It's constantly scanning for danger, and it's responsible for those primal fight or flight responses. Now, it's absolutely crucial for keeping you alive, but it can totally hijack your rational mind in a high-stakes social situation. Real emotional mastery is all about training your CEO, the prefrontal cortex, to regulate and calm down the amygdala's impulsive alarms. Okay. Now that we get the internal landscape, let's talk about one of the most powerful ways to show that you are in control: strategic silence. Seriously, it's often not about what you say, but when you choose to say nothing at all. Just think about how powerful this is. In most conversations, people are subconsciously looking for a reaction. They want to read you so they can control the situation. Maybe they'll make a sarcastic comment or a passive-aggressive jab, just waiting for you to get defensive. But when you give them nothing, you instantly take away all of their leverage. Think about it. There's this unspoken rhythm to conversation, right? Someone asks a question, you answer. Someone pokes, you poke back. By deliberately choosing not to follow that rhythm, you break the pattern. Your silence suddenly becomes this powerful statement of control and self-possession that is so much stronger than any comeback you could have possibly thought of. So how do you actually do this? It's simple. It's a technique called the power pause. The next time someone asks you a question, especially an important one, I want you to mentally count to 3 before you start to answer. Just 1, 2, 3. We have this urge to rush our answers because we think it makes us look smart and quick, but it can actually do the opposite. It can make the question seem simple. That little 3-second pause does something amazing. It sends a subconscious signal to the other person's brain that you're thoughtful, that you are taking their question seriously, and that your answer is going to be credible. It shows you're in complete control. All right, so we've covered the internal state and the power of timing. Now let's talk about the signals your body is sending before you ever even open your mouth. your posture, your expression, they are broadcasting your status 24/7. These are some of the key physical signals of prestige. Tilting your head just slightly up signals confidence and openness. A genuine, symmetrical smile, not a forced one, signals warmth and high social value. It's like an invitation. And standing tall with a subtle chest expansion. Now, this isn't about puffing your chest out like a gorilla. It's just a quiet confidence that signals you are comfortable in your own skin and present in the moment. It draws people in. And finally, we've arrived at the most important part of this whole blueprint. You can practice all of these external techniques, but they're useless without a strong foundation. And that foundation? Well, that's built when nobody else is even around. Real mental fortitude is forged in solitude. When you can actually sit in a room by yourself without needing your phone or the TV to distract you, you start to develop this self-contained presence. You stop walking into social situations and scanning the room for approval or twisting your personality to fit in. You just become grounded, aware. And that self-possession is magnetic because it's real. You aren't trying to be interesting, you just are. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We've walked through the entire blueprint, right? From the internal mindset all the way to the external signals. Now it's time to actually make it real. And please remember, this is not about becoming a bully or learning how to dominate people, not at all. It's about mastering the art of influence through earned respect and a genuine presence. It's about shifting your entire focus away from chasing external approval and turning it inward to master your internal world. When you do that, you stop playing by other people's invisible rules and you start writing your own. So here it is, your challenge. For just 1 week, I want you to try the 3-second power pause. The next time you're in a conversation and someone asks you a question, just count 2, 3 in your head before you reply. That's it. Watch how it changes the dynamic. Watch how people start to lean in. It is such a small change that can have an absolutely massive impact on your presence. Give it a try.